What's happening, gang? I hope this finds everybody well. Today on the YouTube channel, something a little bit different. I'm joined by Will Simpson from REAL.MEAL, someone who massively helped me in my ultra, and he is, instead of just, we are doing a podcast later, but he's actually going to take me on an exercise doing some tabbing. I'll let him explain what he's going to take me through and go from there.
All right, morning troops. So yeah, tabbing, Will said, it's a tactical advance to battle. So 4K an hour is what we go for, but along the flats and down the hills we'll run it. So we're going to take Will for his paces. He's got about, we'll check it later, probably 25, 30 kilos on his back. And then we'll do mixture of like flat ground, and then there's a few cheeky hills in there to get you blowing heart rate up. So yeah, be good.
It'd be good. Looking forward to it. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of those things as a kid you talk about you'd love to go and do, but now I'm stood in the shoes, bag on, having absolutely no idea where I'm going, but the weather's about. So we'll let you know how we get on later on. So I decided I wanted to get an insight into Will Simpson's life, not only being in the army, but pursuing ultra endurance too. So we went for tabbing, or those that are Marines, yomping, no arguing. And currently we actually went around about 7K loop, which was undulating. Heart rate between 140 and actually hit 170 at sometimes. And for me personally, I haven't currently got a goal when it comes down to my health and performance. I'm dealing with a couple of niggles, and I'm just training to be strong, be fit, be fast, and be capable. And tabbing or weighted carrying is a form of general physical preparedness. And for me, the key is to be ready when I'm asked. So again, a wicked experience, but also an extremely humbling one to that.
Keeping pace well.
Can't breathe. Blowing.
He's doing well. We're at halfway point.
Half an hour?
Half an hour in. Saying to Will, I like to come out doing this at least once a week and just do it for an hour and a half. It's quite humbling, and I don't know how you're finding it now, but like...
Quite humbling, but to anybody that's seen this on television before, you underestimate how bad these things are. As like a piece of exercise, something so simple could be so brutal. And Will's saying, just for banter coming out for 90 minutes. I understand the principle behind it, but that'll keep you honest, because yeah, I'm not gonna, it's a weird feeling of just, my legs are butchered, but not butchered. I'm running at about 150 beats, nearly 160. And it's not really running it, so you've seen the four lines, just all squat jogging. We're pushing and tabbing along. But yeah, I think you just mentioned we've got a bit of a dirty piece.
Yeah, so there's a quite a horrible hill here that, certainly while I was instructing here, we take the officer cadets up and down a few times just to like
keep them honest.
Keep them honest, yeah.
Keep them honest,
not necessarily humble them, but just like.
But to humble them.
Yeah. And then what we do is you take the day sack off, and then you go clean fatigue, because like mile best effort, mile back, it feels like quite easy. And then when you put trainers on, and you're on a track or a running machine, it's like.
Whole of a ball game.
Yeah, it's different.
So I'm used to carrying my kid who's about 7 kilos of one of these, not 30 odd. So yeah, we'll give it a bash and we'll see how we get on. So as mentioned, that's the piece of the puzzle that Will's decided to take us out. He nicknamed it the Travelator, which you can, which I'm sure we'll find out what that's like in a minute.
Perfect.
At this point, Will decided that he'll take me on what he called the Travelator. This is a piece of arduous terrain, which is a hill about 40 meters long. And we decided to do 5 reps on there purely on the basis just to see what it's like to actually be carrying this much weight up and down terrain. Now for me, this was extremely humbling, more to the point of my heart rate. I couldn't get it down from 160, nearly 170. But the reason for it, as mentioned, is for general physical preparedness. If you are looking to be adventure ready, you're looking to actually be able to take your body to its limit through whatever physical means, weighted carries and the sort of weighted hikes are really imperative, not only to bulletproof joint structures and to bulletproof not only your mind, but it's something so simple and something that anybody has access to. And what a lot of people do is they're trying to find the perfect time and the perfect place to train, where actually strapping a pack on, getting some weight in it and getting after it is actually a really simple way of performing. On the way down, we just done 5 reps. Heart rate was horrendous at nearly 170. I asked Will a question. I was asking exactly what would he be carrying this Bergen the whole way when he's out deployed, or what's in it, and we were discussing what the day sack and all that kind of stuff was. But instead of just us two listening to it, I thought it'd be a poignant question for us to go through the Bergen, what's in it, why Will's gone on to REAL.MEAL, and go from there.
Nice. Okay. So basically, in the Bergen, it's like when it's got everything in you need for like up to a week or so. So that's like in your Bergen itself will have all your sort of home comforts, and that's the way you sort of think about it. So it's got your DOS bag, so sleeping bag, poncho, any spare like kit, warm kit, and then like waterproof stuff. Along with that is like all your rations, and rations can get quite heavy, especially if you're deploying with like a week's worth. And so I've got some here for you to see, but effectively every main meal in a UK ration pack is 300 grams, regardless of the calorie count. And some of them, look at this one, some of them are 240 calories.
And it's vegetarian, mate. What are they doing?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've
No judgment.
I'll pick the worst there, to be fair. So that's sort of like half the amount of calories as one of my bars, but double the weight. And I was just thinking, like, over a 7-day period, that would like quickly like add up. And obviously, everyone wants a hot meal every occasion, like some occasions. But if you're adding all this up over a 7-day period, that can be like an extra 5-6 kilos, and you're lumping that around. It can take its toll. So wasn't the first reason why I sort of came up with the real meal, and these will never get in the ration pack. So I know that just because of the shelf life that's needed. But certainly it can supplement or maybe potentially take the vegetarian sausage and tomato breakfast out, and then you can get something that's a bit more like compact.
Let me throw that down the hill. So.
Yeah, you try it later. But something that's a bit more compact, definitely a lot lighter, but it's like 615 calories in that one. That's got caffeine in. So there's it wasn't the main reason behind it. We'll come on to that later, I'm sure, in the podcast, but sort of the genesis of the idea. But it just seemed like a no-brainer, and that's why it's wicked to see guys and girls sort of getting back in touch with me, saying that they've used them on exercise and certainly out on like doing on operations, and it's made all the difference.
Mega, just a little cheeky pun. If you want to know why Real Meal is not just for being in the military, but where I use them in the ultra marathon, and others have obviously, and other places. Simon Ferry May, a friend of mine on Mount Everest, was taking one. Stay tuned onto the podcast. We'll go through where else they could be used, why we use them, and actually what's in them, so why they're a superior product. Stay tuned.